Hello, BAME Farm fans. We're going to spend some time in the shade for a second, playing with the planter. Now, unfortunately, I haven't shot any planting footage yet because, well, all the planting of corn other than the sweet corn has happened after dark. That's thanks to that little hiccup with the TW, and that got me behind by a half a day. And then it rained yesterday, and luckily yesterday's rain isn't gonna slow us down in one field, but then it's gonna rain again a bunch tomorrow, probably more than we need as usual. So we're changing the varieties of corn. Ah, piece of shit. Oh, that's not good. Well, so that happens every once in a while. Didn't plan on getting that on video. So we'll let that sit there and drain out. Take a look at the bottom of the planter boxes. This is a plate planter, International 800 plates. Nothing to suck or blow or not have air pressure. Got a plate, call it like your seed disc. These are flat plates. This is a C7, a fairly large flat plate. Now flat plates have, two dimensions for the seed. There's depth and length, we'll call it. And then a flat plate, flat seeds ride on their edge. They're not supposed to sit on end, they're supposed to sit on their side, which obviously there's no boundary out here because this isn't in a box to see that. So there's many more flat sizes than there are round sizes. C2 is what we're going to use for the next variety. And the fun thing is about these are Lustran plates. They're made for the international planters. But these plates are color coded by numbers. So like C2X is this kind of maroon. C7 is this teal green mint something or other. And there's different shades. There's some other plates in the planter. See, the joys of the insecticide boxes on a plate planter, they become the storage and toolbox for the thing. Because, well, I guess insecticide or granular herbicide has kind of gone by the wayside a little bit. And this planter came with it, and we really haven't used it except for that 1 year where I experimented running lime through the boxes, which did not work. The lime was way too dense. So like these are C25s. They're different shade of, they're kind of an army olive green. This is all thanks to the sweet corn we've got, and some sweet corn bags in there. Lovely junk collection room. And, yep, the bottom fell out of this box, and it'll fall out of this box every once in a while. And it usually happens on field corn, because that's when the box goes a long time without being touched. And it does it because there's no spring. We had another 800 planter before this that had a spring right here. And this one, which has had many more updates and a whole lot less use, does not have the spring. It relies on the plate on the bottom to create the pressure to hold this together. Because watch, when we push it down, this plate flexes and that gap closes. So this plate must not have that much flex in it, or it's all been bent out. It doesn't work very well apparently, so that's kind of annoying. I know it's always this box that has 800 to face the outside. And it's not a problem until you go to take the hopper off, because the box is being held down by that clamp. So that was lovely, got that mess on video. Let's see, before this planter came from a farm just up the road from where I drug the new 3800 disc home, except we've had this planter like 10 years. Okay, that's done. We're gonna put, for time's sake of the video, we're gonna put a plate in and demonstrate, say, checking seed size. Now this box has migrated from its end position, because this is the box with all the population notes on it. And this next variety is round. See, good seed corn that comes from a company that cares about farmers, especially the small farmers, will be marked with a grade. That's a letter and a number. Now, these are John Deere numbers, B7. And international plates use a C. So, I'm going to be planting some of this lovely Federal Hybrids corn. And we look on the bottom of the bag, we roll it over. I'll make it so you can read this. It says R25. Roll it back over, and of course the print doesn't match up end for end. Planter plate guide, R25, corresponds to a C2X international plate. And because we have these bags and Dad has saved variable backs of bags, a B7, which is on that other variety, there we go, B7. See, B7 is straight up the John Deere plate number. Yeah, so Federal's based out of Iowa, bought that through Rural King. And then Dad planted, let's see, this variety from Baldridge Hybrids, which is actually fairly close to home. It's out in an Amish area, which is great because the Amish do not have sucky, blowy air planters. And they have plate planters, and most of them are probably 2 rows, maybe 4s. So we're gonna give them a whirl. It seemed to be graded good. You know, even seed size makes for even emergence. Different size seeds will not necessarily emerge at the same time. That's about 110 day. This is 102, and this is a little shorter-ish for trying to get picked for ear corn. However, we were told that was also a good ear-picking variety because, well, the Amish, you know, they do pick ear corn, and they shock it and they bundle it also, so it should have good kernel retention on the cob. So, getting away from my dislike for large seed companies, let's get back to testing this out. I never just dump the bag in. You never believe the seed size. I mean, you hope they're close. So I grab a handful, toss it in the bottom of the plate. You'll hear the echo while I'm down here. And that seed falls in. You don't want a tight fit, but you want enough, enough tightness. Like, if it's a tight fit and you're driving fast, the seeds won't fall in. But if they're too loose, you can get doubles. And like, that's not gonna double. There's 2 bars that stick down right there, which I guess I could grab from one of these upside down units. So right here, these 2 things, these are called seed knockers. And maybe that's the stripper and that's the knocker. That knocks it out of the hole if it's tight. And these 2 little bars right here run along the plate, knocking any seed or extra seed that's trying to double up out of the hole. So like right there, it looks like there's 2, but that seed is above the plane of the plate, and when those bars come by, it'll get pushed out of the way. And that's usually kind of the clicking noise you'll hear from these planter units. I mean, I know we hear like that grinding, screeching, because there's probably dirt or something in behind the fertilizer opener discs. But you'll hear kind of a clicking and popping, and that's those bars pushing seeds out of the plate hole, so there's a single instead of doubles or whatever. It helps with seed metering. So, yet again, Federal has seemingly done a good job that we're getting singulation on our seed in the plate, and they fit well, but not too tight. So I guess we can go ahead. We feel happy with our fit. And there's 80,000 seeds ready to go in the ground. These 80,000 seeds almost weigh 46 pounds. Not a very big unit. I was very thrilled to find out when Dad brought this seed home that these are almost 60-pound units. That's big seed. Big seed. He has more energy in it. More energy to push the sprout out of the ground. So that's the plate part. We'll go ahead and switch these other ones just for kicks and giggles on video. I still gotta find the bag. Silly me, I already switched the plates out. I gotta find the bag for the other variety. Come on. See, this one's a good snug fit. That it shouldn't fall apart on us. Put the box on. Sometimes you gotta move the plate, sometimes you don't to get it to fall down in. See the drives on these units, there's two fingers that stick up into the bottom of the plate, like so. And it's flat, so there's no sloped section to help direct it. You gotta reach your hand in and turn it. So it's a real bear to take these units off and then try to sit them back on with seed. Now, somebody's probably going to comment and gripe about, it's not bulk fill. So yeah, we got to put seed in each unit, which is fine for sweet corn, great for everything else too. See, the bulk fill would be annoying with sweet corn because you have to have enough seed for your central fill air planter. If you don't have enough seed, it's kind of hard for it to do its thing. Where this, you know, we can run it until there's only, we can run out of seed comfortably and not have to worry about population until we're out. That doesn't feel right. Probably because there's all those kernels of corn there. Oops. That's better. This tire drives fertilizer. We take the chains off for road transport. This tire drives the transmission for the seed population, and that is right here. We only change these two sprockets. You can change the front, the drive and the driven sprockets for different populations. And I forget how close they have it, where you can change it for like every 500 seeds per acre almost, between all the different sprocket combinations. We use 12 and 15 for field corn, which we're planting field corn 28,000 something. And the sweet corn we use, I gotta check my notes over there, 17 on the outside and 16 on the inside. However, the last 800 we had, this whole setup was on the other side of the planter. And that messed us up the first year we had this, because we had it based on inside and outside, which it really should be labeled as, we'll say, the driven, because this sprocket is driven, and this is the driver for this side. And we can take a look at the sticker here about, yes, driven 1, and this is driver 2, and they're obviously the easier ones to change because they're more easily accessible. Plus there's all the options. These are left-handed threaded nuts to tension, and you know, you don't want them over tight. They're not turning too fast, but you don't want enough slack that they'll fall off. I mean, you don't want it too tight because these are just plastic on metal, and you put a bunch of oil on, you know, the idler sprockets there for tension. And it's quick, it's easy, there's just clips to hold that on, never had issues with that. Now I couldn't tell you what different combinations of sprockets you need for different populations without going to the book. I think that's all the notes and whatever annoyances I have about air planners to throw at you guys. So hopefully soon we'll get some video of planting in the daylight, but I still have to go out and run the soil finisher because Dad is knifing anhydrous on this field. We didn't get through anhydrous before it rained. Let's see, oh, that tag is really messed up. 102-2. This came from, it was grown somewhere in Indiana. So I guess we'll call this a fun farming adventure here in the barn, getting the planter set up. In years past, you've seen me dump fertilizer in the boxes. And I've probably tossed seed in the boxes too, but I don't think I've ever gone through so much explanation on the plates before. The largest round plate is a COX, which they may not offer seed that large as a round, and as the number gets bigger through multiple decimal places, the seed gets, oh, there's a COX, okay. I don't know how a C12 is larger than a COX though, because usually it's COX, C1X, C2X, C3, and then C25 is between C2 and C3. We don't have C16 or C12 plates, so I don't know much about those. We do have C150s, and they're kind of between a C1 and a C2. But yet there's a C15, so there's got to be some slight variation in those two. Which, I guess as we saw, the round plates are more teardropped versus an actual circle or half circle. Should have thrown that in earlier, but hopefully you watched the whole video to see all this stuff. And that's all the notes I can think to come up with about seed sizing, changing the planter over, and all that mechanical, non-electric, no frills, no problems, pre-1950s planting that doesn't need a monitor. So I'll catch you guys later with more fun farming adventures.